Well, it's all right.
I need that for the video as well because. Yeah.
Oh, really? Is that the equivalent of,
Yeah.
There we go. Well, ding ding. Good morning, everyone. So welcome to our Essex Business Forum today. Apparently, it's been 15 years since a lady, or if I'm not a lady, since a woman stood up and did this role for the meeting. It's at high time, girls, that there was a takeover bid. And yes, we have a female 10-minuter today as well, so go the girls. It says here, my name is Aidan Squire and I'm the meeting chairman. That's not quite true. My name's Auntie Jane. My role is to lead the meetings each week. No, that's not true either. Ensuring we keep to the agenda. I think it's all going to, out the window. Never mind. But we do have a leadership team. Would those members please stand up and introduce? Brian, do you want me to wait till you're finished?
You're in time.
Yes, if
No,
you're
no,
in your
I'll
own.
pick them up.
All right, let's start with the right-hand side of the table and go round.
Very hard.
Right hand starting from where? He's got the right hand.
Vincent.
I chair the membership committee and I'm also the official timekeeper.
Morning, I'm Brian, Social Secretary.
Right now, Terry, I do the membership and recruitment.
And good morning, I'm Scott, your meeting secretary, looking after the numbers and all that kind of stuff. I'm also the handsome face of the live chat.
Yay. That's it, thank you. This is a very old agenda and actually says apologies for absence. Well, we'd be a long time on that today, so I'm sorry about that. We'll be passing swiftly on. And so we do the EBF Performance League next. Are we in a position to do that?
We certainly are.
Hurrah!
We have 3 weeks recorded so far, and 6 members who have topped 100 points. So let me read those out to you. Aidan, even though he's been absent for 2 weeks, still got 112 points.
Very good.
139 points, Stuart Smallcombe is next.
Stuart.
142 points is Paul Booth.
Woo!
1 point ahead, 143 is Terry.
Terry.
154 second place is Toby Acton. But the current leader, 189, is
Yeah.
Jane.
Hey.
Well done, Jane.
I'm taking a look off.
I'm having the easy one.
Yes.
That's
Lovely. You win hands down. Thank you very much for that. Now, our next section is over to Vincent, and it's the education slot. Over to you, sir.
Morning, Mark.
Morning.
Oh, sorry, I just turned that off. I'm going to talk about words. Words this morning. Words are great. We all use them. But the important thing is that to get the words order right, or should read putting the right words in the right order. Then it makes more sense. Fact number 1. Did you know that the word with the most definitions in the Oxford English Dictionary is set? S-E-T, set. It has a whopping 430 different definitions and commands the longest entry in the dictionary, 60,000 words. I'm now going to quickly list 430. But before I do that, here's a word for you. Tmesis. Anyone?
Yeah, that's where if you say
No, it isn't. It means putting a word inside a
yes,
word.
if you say that's a bloody wonderful.
And also fan smashy tassel.
Yes, that's
You get the idea.
Tmesis. Very good.
Anyway, but the Germans, they're the kings at using compound words to make it ridiculously long words. Here's a few for your delectation. Number 1, Pfeifengeschlecht. That means a face in need of a slap. The next word, a few of you might be familiar with, is Schadenfreude, which means laughing at other people's misfortune. You see someone fall down a pothole, there's plenty of loud people tell you. That's funny. And then we've got Obergruppenführer, which is a senior group leader, or Nazi if you like. Is that too soon? No, we're doing it though. One more long word is, thank you Paul. That's not all of it, probably a lot. Rechtsschutzgesellschaften, which means legal protection provided by insurance companies.
Oh, gosh.
It was Mark Twain who said, some German words are so long they have perspective. The French people, though, they steal our perfectly good English words and make them their own, which I think is shocking. The French people, they even, in text speak, they use LOL. That's not it. That's nothing like it. Just be patient. Wait for the talk. The French people will say that. Even in text speak, they use LOL for laugh out loud. And they're too lazy to translate it and make their own acronym. That reminds me of a story I heard about a woman who texted her grandchildren to let them know that her husband had just passed away. She texted, "Grandfather's died, LOL." I think she thought it meant lots of love. Anyway, back to those French people stealing our nice words. First specimen. Ça vous mon sweat? Have you seen my sweatshirt? Next. J'ai cash pour toi. I've got the cash for you.
Oh.
And finally, j'attends le weekend, which means I'm looking forward to the weekend. Anyway, we've mixed enough of their words too, but who cares? We nearly beat them at football. But anyway, before I finish, let's go into these 430 definitions of the word set. So to put something in a particular place or position, you could say the house is set back from the road. Number 2, if a book is set in a particular time or place, the story which unfolds happens in that time or place. For example, the West Side Story is set in New York. Different meaning completely. To cause something to be in the stated condition, for example, the building was set on fire. Another definition. 427 to go. To establish or decide something, for example, Carl Lewis has set a new world record. To get something ready to be used, e.g. I set the alarm for 5:30. I actually do. I'm done.
Very good.
So to sum up, let's use words. Otherwise we'll be Neanderthals or English football hooligans.
That was fan ruddy testing.
What a waste of time.
Yes.
Yes, it was very good.
What was the name of that word?
Temesis. T-M-E-S-I-S. Well, it's not 5 letters, it might be a word or...
Yep.
That was very good. Well done, Vincent. I'm passing the business card box round. If you've got spare cards with you and you need to bulk yours out, please do so. Thank you. And then it's the 90-second round. And so we're obviously going to begin with our... Are you all right with 90 seconds, Vincent, for today? Thank you. We're going to begin with our Oscar winner. But apart from that, we're going to go alphabetical. So it'll begin with Brian after our Oscar winner.
Toby.
B for Brian.
Did you work this out or we got to do it?
No, I well, all right. Let's see.
I don't have to worry.
I might think
I come
yes.
first alphabetically, so probably. I was
Oh,
always first for the dentist.
are we missing somebody? Should we just wait a minute? Talk amongst yourselves for 1 minute. Did somebody pop out?
Yeah.
All right.
Anybody know any good jokes? B and I?
I bet I get more than 13 minutes.
Yes, we'd all be drunk now, wouldn't we?
In fairness, yeah, the next one went to last week was 6 people.
No.
Well, it was a new one, so yeah, that's just to establish it.
Talk for 5 minutes.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Wowzers.
Got a lovely meal though. I'm sorry, did you yawn?
Good food.
Did you yawn?
Yeah, but you didn't press the button.
He was looking like he was going to.
Yeah.
Yawning and threatening to press the bell.
Yawning and whatting?
I didn't yawn.
What was the other word?
He was yawning and
Yeah.
threatening to press the bell.
Threatening.
Oh,
Which is
how
very,
did you
very
accuse him of that?
disrespectful, in my opinion.
Well, to fill in the time, I bought free lemon curd. It needs eating in the next 6 weeks, so please take some at the end.
I've got 3 jars to be using in the
Oh,
next 6
no.
weeks. I looked on the dates of all of them. Oh, blimey.
Yes, you've got to go for it.
Time to buy some carpets.
Can I just say, I bought one of these from Jane about 3 or 4
Oh,
months
those.
ago.
Oh, yeah.
This is salted caramel one. Really, really nice.
It's lovely.
It is
Thank
nice. So,
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm taking offers. Normally £30. I am accepting offers.
Shall we give her a round of applause?
Oh my goodness.
It's a silly meeting.
round and we're going to begin with Toby, but then it's alphabetical, and somebody said, I think we're going to let you work out if you are next.
Who's it?
Yes, but if you, I've worked it out here, and if you stand up at the wrong moment, I will make you sit down.
We're doing it by first name
Wait,
rather than
first names only. But starting with our Toby, would you take it away?
I will. Thank you. It's been a bit of an EBF week for me actually. I was in Stuart's office yesterday. On Monday I was put another proposal in for somebody that Vince had referred to me. No, Tuesday that was. And on Monday I was up in Leeds with ex-member Sarah Steele. We were doing a talk or a workshop for members of the Institute of Civil Engineers. It's for their benevolent members, and I got a stress hat.
Ah,
I was going to give it to Nick, but he's not here. And a spaghetti measure. Really relevant to the ICA, isn't it? But yeah, we were doing a workshop for members that want to start their own business, either as civil engineers or one girl wants to be a life coach. Second time we've done it now, and what we're thinking is we've got a product now that we can put out to other people. So if you know anybody, any benevolent funds, any charities, anybody that helps people with getting their own businesses, I'm trying to film 90 seconds here, mate. Anybody that you think could benefit from a workshop helping them to start their own business with Sarah's expertise on the financial side, my expertise from business, then please do put me in touch with them.
very good.
Okay, I'm done.
Thanks, Toby.
And the Oscar will almost certainly go to a woman's day. This is a woman. But no guarantees.
Good morning. I'm a hypnotherapist, Pilgrim Hypnotherapy. Just about a month ago, this lady in my consulting room, she looked rather apprehensive, as if she didn't really want to speak. Excuse me. But eventually she said, I've got a phobia. It's very embarrassing. I'd like you to get rid of it, but I can't tell you what it is. Can you help? And she said, or should I leave? She said, I said, sit down. So I said, well, let's call your phobia X. So when I mention X, you know what it is, but I don't. And that's how we worked for 3 or 4 sessions. She had her last session on Tuesday. I said, now think about X, and what's it like? She said, well, now it's a memory. There's no embarrassment. And I can think about it, and it's completely gone. And I still don't know what that phobia is. Wow. So what I'm looking for this week is people with phobias. They can, if they wish, tell me or not tell me. Thank you. Now I'm a hypnotherapist. Therapy. Help is just a phone call away. Thank you.
Very good. So stand up who thinks they should go next. So actually, yes.
Good morning everyone, Fran from HS Estate Agents. What I wanted to talk to you this morning about was, I know a number of you are landlords. As you know, I look after the rental side of the business in particular. We've had a number of, well, there's a lot of landlords at the moment that are, with reforms coming in shortly, deciding that they're going to be selling their properties, that they are selling their properties because it's not worth tenanting them any longer. The mortgages have gone up and they're not even making any money out of it. So when you come to sell a property, and I know myself because I've got my own rental properties privately, what you don't want is you don't want to put your property on the market and then your tenant goes, right, I'm leaving now, and then you've got a void period of it being empty. So what we're successfully doing at the moment is, so I have 2 rentals that the landlords have wanted to sell. Obviously we don't want to lose the business with the tenant in place. So we have said to our landlords, there's ways around you can try and encourage your tenant to stay. So A is to reduce their rent, so it's better for them because to stay in place up to the point the property is sold, because it's better financially. And for the tenant it's better, and for them they've still got income coming in. Also what we do is we say to them, we will advertise you as an investor for investors to buy the property. So we'll hopefully have a person that still wants to buy the property to keep you there. So it does encourage them. So you're allowed to come and speak to me.
Very good. So does anyone know who goes next?
If it's wrong, Tina's fault.
It's me.
Oh, yes.
Good morning, everybody. Jane Mallion from the English Cream Tea Company. I need your help. So we all know there's the cream jam debate, jam cream first and so on. So I'm doing a TikTok this coming weekend in Norwich with the ice cream man who makes the best 99s in Norfolk. And he has agreed that I can go along with a scone scone and use his whippy machine to build up a pile of ice cream and stick a flake in the top. So jam first in this instance, because the jam won't go on the top. What shall we call this? Because he's willing to let other people come along and do this. Is it a SK99 or is it something else? I would love your suggestions, even if they come at the end of the meeting, because I think this could be a fun thing to do. He wants to build up his business and he's willing to let anybody do that, and he probably won't charge them for the ice cream either, as long as they show the name of his stall on Norwich Market. So, yes, answers on a postcard, please, to Auntie Jane. And meanwhile, I really am taking offers for this, so please just give me a bid at some point, and it may very well be yours. Elderflower liqueur, salted caramel liqueur, and this one is vodka, and so is that. I thank you. Who would be next?
Now it's on. Good morning, everyone. We are Brooklyn Interiors. As I say on the team, I'm an interior designer, so I help my clients create beautiful, functional, stylish homes. I'm looking for busy professionals, families that want to remodel or reconfigure their homes. Perhaps it's a new family, they need to make extra space, or the family has grown up and they just need to reconfigure. So I'm looking for those sort of people that need help on how to rearrange their home to make it work for them in their new chapter in their life. So if you know anyone, put them in touch with me. I can also help people with Airbnbs and rental properties if they want regular updates to keep them completely modern and looking lovely for their tenants. That's Leanne at Brooklyn Interiors.
Fantastic. Lovely. What do you think, Mike?
Go for it.
I don't
sit
think
down then.
it's not you, yes.
No.
It's you. E comes before I.
Good morning, everybody. Melissa Jackson, Kenway Francis. I'm a licensed insolvency practitioner. As you know, I deal with formal insolvency processes, but what you may not know is that we also deal with a lot of informal processes to assist businesses. There are a number of informal options for dealing with corporate financial distress. These include informal arrangements with creditors, a simple early step when encountering issues with a single creditor or even a group of creditors is to reach an informal arrangement with them to repay the debts over a period of time. Debt refinancing. Debt refinancing is the replacement of the existing debt with a new debt under new terms and conditions which are more favourable. This may be a lower interest rate on a loan or an extension to the repayment period. The ultimate benefit is that the company reduces its outgoings on a month-by-month basis. Debt consolidation. Wrapping all your loans up into one loan at a lower interest rate. Venture capital funding, sale of part of your business, or time to pay arrangements with HMRC for your debts. So if you have encountered anybody that may be struggling and needs advice on their options regarding their business, please put them in touch with me. Thank you.
Thank you, Melissa.
I thought I'd have to skip my go now.
I thought it was I before you, except not to see.
Good point.
Hello everyone, Mike from Blackwater Media. I've mentioned before that I was trying to increase the amount of corporate clients that I was working with, and that's generally looking at conferences, event coverage, that sort of thing. But I'd like to expand that criteria a little bit and ask, do you know anyone that's involved in the marketing side of any business chains? Whether it's leisure, recreation, training, manufacturing, sales, retail, all sorts of areas. I'd like to work with more companies who want to tie all their marketing content together. They want consistent images across all of their sort of brands and ranges, and visuals that match in with their branding and ethos. It's a great type of work for me, as rather than a business having like 1 or 2 promotions a year they might be looking to promote, they may have 5 or 10 stores around that have all got 1 or 2 promotions a year, so it just gives me more projects to work on regularly for them. And working with a business is always easier and more productive the more often that I do it, as I already know largely what they're looking for. I've got all their project files and layouts saved, and work can just be put out quicker and more on point than when you're first working with a company and figuring all their processes out. So if you could put me in touch with any business chain marketing managers or teams, I'd love to reach out and let them know what I can offer. It's Mike at Black Multimedia. Thank you.
Lovely. Yes, Paul, well done.
Morning, Paul Booth, Improvement Coach, Chartered Certified Accountant based in Brentwood. We have 2 types of clients, business clients and personal tax clients. Today I'm going to talk about personal tax clients. Over the last couple of weeks, we've had a lot of calls from potential clients looking for help with their tax returns. Typically, they've actually been females who work in the city, earn a lot of money, maybe 200, 300 or 400k, really don't quite understand what they're doing. We've taken them on to clients and we've completely
Don't understand what they're doing in the jobs. They're very good at it.
done their tax returns already. So that's what I'm looking for today. Not just females, but anyone who needs assistance with their personal tax returns and personal tax advice. Paul Booth or Booth & Co, Nice Tax. Thanks very much.
Very good. That's me.
Yes, good. Me, Bob Scott, building web pages for lots and lots of different clients this week. Toilets, pest control, ice creams and glass balustrades. I have, in the last probably 10 days, created more than 100,000 web pages through this incredibly complex and smart system, search engine friendly, helping these businesses to rank. The glass balustrades operate in London, Mr Ice Creams operates in Manchester, Pests operates in Essex and London, and Toilets is nationwide. But all of those have now got customised pages for every town, every different service offering they have. There's a page targeted specifically for that, and they rank and they achieve page 1, position 1 listings. It's brilliant. So if you know a business that has a geographical area and a product that they wish to actively promote, then we can do that. It takes a bit of time and effort to go in and get it working, but it's absolutely brilliant. So that's what I'm looking for. Me, my clever little systems of AI creating 100,000 web pages in a week.
Amazing. Well done. Do you know who's next? Yes.
Good morning everybody, Stuart from LG Networks. Every week I stand up and tell you what we do, business telecommunications, business internet services. I thought this morning I'd just say about why choose us. There's plenty of people that do what we do. I always struggle with the what's your USP, but what many of us do is truly unique. So why would you choose us? So the first reason a business should choose us is because we're independent. If you go and speak to BT, they're only going to sell you a BT product. If you go and speak to Sky, they're going to sell you a Sky product. If you speak to us, we deal with BT, Virgin, Vodafone, TalkTalk, across all the different networks, so we're independent. The other thing is, we're certainly not the cheapest you're going to find, but we do offer the best value. And I think that's really important. If we can explain to a business owner why we're providing the best value, I think that's a really important thing. The other thing is, we're honest. If we can't do something, we'll tell you. We've run our business now for 20 years, and I sleep very soundly in my bed at night, knowing I've never ripped anybody off. Okay, so we're honest, yet. We're honest about what it is that we do. The other thing is that we have a 98% retention of our customer base in an industry that is really well known for churning its business. But we retain our clients. And we do that because of the service that we provide. And that's all built with our own in-house team that we've developed and trained from scratch up to the very high standards that they provide now. So that's what we do, business telecommunications and internet, and that's why businesses should choose us. So if you know any businesses who are looking for some help, please put in touch with me, Stuart at LG Networks. Thank you.
Thank you, Stuart.
morning everybody, you know who I am, you know where I am, that's on here. I just thought I'd give you a quick rundown this week of what I've been up to at TM Law. So, I've got an employer who wants to get rid of an employee. It's not a problem, I'm working with them, working on the process. In case you don't know, you can't just get rid of them, it's got to follow a process. So I'm working on that. I've got a client who's got a product liability claim against him. He supplied a sunbed, or a number of sunbeds. Unfortunately, one of them collapsed. The woman who was on it was paralysed from the neck down. So I'm dealing with that. I'm going to see him straight from here today. Yeah, he didn't get sunburned, no comment. I've got a new landlord and tenant matter from Australia. The client used to work for Ford in Brentwood, and I had a few from them. Ford shipped them out to Australia, and I've got a couple, so they kind of, work gets around. So I've got 2 or 3 in Australia, which is quite nice. And then the last thing, I took over a personal injury matter from a firm in Liverpool, and the client came to see me this week, yesterday in fact, and these solicitors in Liverpool couldn't have got it any more wrong if they tried. They had him listed down and put a claim in as a car driver with a passenger. It was a motorcycle to no passenger. They had him having a head injury, dizziness and nightmares. Now he sustained a spiral fracture to his leg and smashed his knee, and various other things that I won't bore you with. They were also charging him £450 an hour for this. So I have constructed a letter of complaint to them, which we are encouraging them to waive their charges for the work they've done, because they signed him up for an agreement where, not like I would do, if genuinely no pay agreement, they've signed him up for an agreement where they're going to take 25% or whatever I get him. That's going to be a lot of money. So I'm encouraging him, I've drafted a letter to this lovely firm of solicitors in Liverpool to suggest they might like to waive their charges. So that's a rundown of what I've been doing at TM Law this week. They're the sort of things I'm asking you to look out for. Thank you.
Good. Do we know who's next? Yes, Tina.
Oh, it's Steve. Good morning, everybody. My name's Tina. My company's called Liberty Executive Services. We offer a secretarial and admin service. I would just like to say that there's a lot of VAs out there, and a lot of them take on work, but they outsource. But with me, it's just me, because I like to get to know you and your company and support you as and when required, either on a monthly basis or on ad hoc. So if you know anybody that needs any help typing up reports or arranging meetings, organising workshops or conferences, please pass my details because I'll be happy to help. So that's me, Tina, Liberty Executive Services. I'm not a 9 to 5. I start again.
Very nice. No, there's
have
2
now,
more.
yeah.
Oh, no, there's 1 more. Sorry.
So I'm used to getting picked last at football.
Sorry, darling.
Yeah, I've heard that.
So yeah, it's Vincent from Speedprint. In addition to all that lovely sexy printing that we do every day, we also specialise in order of service booklets for funerals. We've got a dedicated website, funeralbooklets.co.uk. Head on down there. This is a sample of a couple of the type of order of service booklets that we produce. Very nice, good send off for the loved one. There's another one there. But in addition to funeral booklets, we also do order of service for weddings booklets as well for people. So beautiful little program there of events for all to enjoy.
All the same type.
No, it's the same product really. All that. So if you're thinking of getting wed or you're thinking of getting dead, Speedprint is the place to head.
Very good. Very good. And that finishes our 60 seconds round, so over to Toby Gibbons.
Well, what can I say? I really liked yours, Brian, helping people without even knowing what the problem was.
Yeah.
I think if we could all do that, it would be fantastic, wouldn't it? Testimonials would be good. Mike, I liked yours, very specific what you wanted. Scott, great, but I find those sites bloody annoying because you think you found somebody local and they're actually based in or something like that. So sorry, no Oscar. Stuart, yeah, the why of why you do what you do, and I've had a bit of insight into that this past couple of weeks. But I said that the Oscar was going to go to a lady, so Brian. We know what you do on the weekends.
Very good. It was also Brian's birthday this week.
Thank you. It's another year closer to the telegram.
Telegram, thank you. And it's also Matt's birthday today, I believe. Yes. So that's why. Yes, yes. It's his and his wife's. Yes, marvellous. Happy birthday, Matt. That's lovely. So I think. Yeah, fancy that. He could have brought his wife. Yes. It's the meeting secretary's report next. We still are beating hearts.
I'm not even going to stand
Oh.
today because there is nothing to say and I'm not going to talk about that. So, nothing to report this week.
Right, be like that. So we have, after this meeting, a synergy team meeting. Was there a report after the previous one, Paul? Did we?
No, it's done previously.
We've done that. So if you can, it's going to be short and sharp. You do get points. We'll meet in that room there and we're going to be discussing how do you get new customers or more customers. So that's that. So next, we're heading slightly towards the 10-minute presentation stage. And I'm delighted to say it's our very own Melissa from Kenway Francis, her own company. This is an insolvency practice. And she's based in Brentwood and covers England and the South East. Well done. An embarrassing moment that happened. Oh dear, your phone rang during a court hearing. And, did you have a dreadful ringtone?
It's like 1,000 eyes turn around.
Yes. Oh no.
Yeah.
You get wound up by rude people. Yes.
I was thinking, because we've got a bit of responsibility, so I was in B&Q yesterday.
Yes.
And I was paying, and the assistant who was serving me couldn't even be bothered to stop talking to her colleagues.
Yes.
And then when I was looking for the thing to tap, to pay, she went, just there, just there.
Oh.
Sorry that I interrupted you, I'm just your customer, but anyway.
Yes. Yes. That counts. That's definitely rude people. Something you admire in others, hard work and dedication, marvellous. And a favourite holiday destination was Bondi Beach, Australia, which you describe as beautiful. I've been there too. Anybody else been to Bondi Beach? Oh, yes, yes, very lovely. That's a good choice. And then finally, a dish you cook well, we'll all be round, monkfish curry.
Ooh, nice.
We love that. Well, over to you. We can't wait to hear what your 10 minutes or so is going to cover.
Good morning, everybody. My 10 minutes this morning is going to be a bit of background about Kenway Francis, and then I'm going to speak specifically to you about a particular insolvency process. But as you know, I like to get things interactive, so I've got some cards here for you.
Thank you, darling. Thanks for that. Did you get one, Toby? Can I share mine with Toby and we'll share together?
So a bit of background about Kenway Francis first. As you already know, I'm a licensed insolvency practitioner, and I deal with formal and informal insolvency procedures such as liquidations, administrations, and bankruptcy.
Do you need Tina?
This is our team at the moment. We are a team of 4, not 5 at the moment. We are looking for a new junior to make it up to 5. But these are people that help me to run the business, and I will be able to do that. Yes. So what do we do for our clients? We formulate a strategy. We basically look at their situation and we say, how can we help you and get you to a position that you need to be in? And sometimes that requires a formal process, and sometimes it doesn't. We deal with lots of clients there where we talk to them about particular areas of their business, where they may not actually need a formal process. They need to maybe go and rethink and re-strategise about certain aspects of it. It could be that they're looking to do a management buyout. It could be that a certain area of the business might get sold, or it could be that they need to deal with their creditors in a different way. So we provide options to exit a business. We agree on the assessment of debts. We investigate financial wrongdoing and seek redress. And we work closely with HMRC and other government bodies as well. Debt can be worrying for a lot of people. Obviously, it can be quite debilitating to have debt issues, and we're very sympathetic to people that are going through very difficult financial issues, especially at the moment, where there's an awful lot of pressure on people due to the various crises that we have to deal with, like COVID. There's been lots of pressure on businesses, lots of pressure on individuals, and the cost of living crisis as well is real for a lot of people. So I wanted to talk today a bit about bankruptcy. Bankruptcy is one of the insolvency options that we deal with. It is a formal insolvency process and it is court driven. So you have to actually involve the UK courts in becoming bankrupt, and it is a formal process, not an informal one. So today I was going to go through some of the terms that are generally used in bankruptcy, and that might lead to some questions from you. So a little bit of background on bankruptcy generally. A bankruptcy process makes sure your assets are shared amongst those that you owe money to, the creditors. But before I start this, I'm going to say, listen carefully because there'll be a question at the end, and the person who shouts out the answer first correctly will win a special prize.
Bankruptcy.
So let's start again. So the bankruptcy process makes sure that your assets are shared amongst those you owe money to, your creditors, and lets you make a fresh start free from debt. Some with restrictions, with some restrictions for a period of time. To obtain a bankruptcy order, you can make an online application to the insolvency service. Your application will be considered by someone called the adjudicator, who will decide whether or not you should be made bankrupt. The cost of the application is £680. You can pay this fee in instalments, however, you need to have paid the whole amount before you can complete your application. If the adjudicator makes you bankrupt, your assets, the things that you own, can be used to pay your debts. You must hand over your assets to the person who is managing your bankruptcy, known as your trustee, and this can be the official receiver who works for the insolvency service, or it can be an insolvency practitioner like myself. You can usually keep the items needed for your job, such as tools of the trade, your car, sometimes, provided it isn't a high value car, household items such as your clothing and furniture, and any money that you've paid into your pension. Your bank account, however, may be frozen, but your trustee may release any money to you that you need urgently, for example, to buy food, and any share of that money that is your partner's in a joint account. But it is up to your bank to decide whether they allow you to continue to use that account. They can stop you. If you own a house, it might be sold depending on the amount of equity in the property, and obviously that is the difference between the value of the property and your outstanding mortgage or secured creditors on that home. You may be able to retain your home if it's not high value and there isn't an awful lot of equity in it. If it's less than £1,000 worth of equity, then the trustee won't be looking to realise that and you'll be able to retain it. But the property can be sold, and somebody such as your partner, if they're a joint owner, may wish to purchase that property from the trustee. You may be asked to make monthly instalments from your spare income. Any money that you have left over each month will be calculated, and you may have to be required to pay an income payments agreement for up to 3 years. The trustee sets up the agreement, and if you don't agree with the amount that has to be paid, then the trustee can go to court and get an income payments order against you, forcing you to pay, and can even go to your employer and get a order that your employer pays the money directly to you. So let's talk about the common terms in the bankruptcy situation. So who's got A? A is for assets. Anything that you own, or you have a financial interest in. This includes your house, a flat, if you're a homeowner. It also includes your car or any money that you might have in a bank account. Or it could include anything like a claim that you've got, to say something like compensation. Your assets can be sold off as part of bankruptcy, and certain assets can be exempt from being sold, like essentials. So that's assets. Your assets will be sold in a bankruptcy to pay your debts. B. We've got two definitions here which are common. Obviously, B, standing with bankruptcy order. That's the order of the court which is given to you at the start of the process, or by the court or by the adjudicator, stating that the person has been made bankrupt. B also stands for bankruptcy restrictions. There are things that you're not allowed to do as bankrupt. They include borrowing more than £500 or more without letting the lender know that you are bankrupt, running or managing a company or business, or working as an insolvency practitioner. If you are self-employed or you're going to start your own business, you must use the name that you were made bankrupt in. So, Toby Acton, trading as Toby Acton, you must state, I'm Toby Acton in bankruptcy if you are bankrupt and you're running a business. See? Creditors, they're the people that you owe money to. And also, your credit rating is going to be affected if you're made bankrupt. D. Discharge. Discharge. That's a good thing. Discharge means when you're no longer a bankrupt. You're discharged from bankruptcy after 12 months. But your bankruptcy case can still go on for much longer than that. E, equity. We talked about that already. Equity is the difference between the mortgage and the bankruptcy property. F. No?
John Effort.
Frozen bank account. We talked about that already. That can happen. N.
We've got time, Vince. N. To Tuesday.
Nil tax rate code. When you're made bankrupt, everyone knows about their tax code. That's how much HMRC deduct each month from your salary or whatever. When you're made bankrupt, you get a nil tax code. You don't pay any tax. This is the government's freebie for you. It means that essentially you've got more money then to pay back to your creditors when your trustee says you've got to pay this payments. P. Petition. That's what happens when your creditors take you to court and petition for your bankruptcy. So that was a quick canter through bankruptcy with some of the terms. Thank you very much for listening. Do you have any questions before I ask you a question?
Oh.
So you first.
How long does the nil rate last for?
It lasts 12 months. Well, actually, so that's incorrect. It lasts until the 1st of April following the date of your bankruptcy. So if you were made bankrupt, say on the 1st of September this year, then your nil tax rate is in place until the 5th of April 2024.
You mentioned about pension contributions or pension pots not counting in terms of your assets.
Yeah.
What happens if immediately before you make, private bankruptcy, you put a large sum?
That if you've made contributions that are your general contributions each month, and then we do review these, and you can see that they're just normal contributions, they can't be touched. It's protected under the Pensions Welfare and Reform Act. But if you've made excessive pension contributions, they can be clawed back because it's seen as being putting assets beyond the reach of creditors.
Listen, do you ever have a dilemma? If you're acting for a company with a CVA, do you ever have a dilemma with the company and the creditors?
As a nominee,
You've got different roles.
You've got different roles. You wear different hats at different stages. So there's 3 different roles when you're a supervisor or to work with a company. First hat is advice. You're sitting down with the company and its directors and you're advising them what they can do. The second role is each month we're paying out to creditors. So we have to actually advise directors that we have a changing role during that assignment. Yeah.
Does assets include overseas assets as well?
It does. I had a very interesting case with a bankrupt who we were pursuing in relation to his property in Spain, which he owned with his wife, and in the interview with us, he announced that, oh, I didn't realise that assets meant foreign assets and assets jointly owned with my wife. It includes all of your assets wherever they are in the world and whoever they owned with as well.
So I had a chat with you a week or so ago about a relative of ours who's got themselves into a major financial pickle, but it seems they've got themselves into the pickle with the worst possible creditor, which is the Inland Revenue. Yes, and it seemed from what you were saying it would have been much easier if they owed XYZ company, because the Inland Revenue can make up new rules, and although he's offered to pay back X thousands a month, they said they'd rather make him bankrupt, and it made no sense.
Yeah.
But you gave us a hint as to why that could be.
Well, the reason why you're talking about, I think it's a company voluntary arrangement situation, where HMRC were the major creditor.
Yes.
In CBA, you have to get 75% majority of your creditors approving that arrangement. And if HMRC control that vote and control the outcome, they can then decide whether they agree on that. The problem with HMRC, unlike a normal trade creditor, is that they won't make commercial decisions. And what they'll do is they'll look at the history of compliance with that particular company or individual, and they'll say, oh, were they paying their tax? Were they compliant? Were they putting their returns in on time? If they don't like what happened before, they'll use that against you, and they'll turn around and say, no, we're not going to approve anything. I've seen it time and time again where CBA has been put forward for 100 pence in the pound, and revenue say, no, I'm not interested. Pretty much, we'd rather make bankrupt and get them off our books.
I've seen a stat, I can't remember exactly what it is, but the number of bankruptcies and insolvencies where HMRC is the major creditor, and do you know what that stat is? It's a huge number.
I don't know what the stat is, but the HMRC are the biggest petitioner in the country.
Yeah, massive.
Definitely. At the moment, they're on as many petitions going through because, you know, kind of give with hand one hand and take with the other, and they've given us all lots of money over COVID, but they are starting to build again now, but HMRC has always been the biggest petitioner in the country.
Wow. I'm surprised they don't have a duty of care to take, this is, the amount owed by the relative is £750,000.
Yeah.
And they are willing to make him bankrupt based on their we'll teach you a lesson thing. But I'm surprised they don't have a duty of care to get in as much money as they can.
Yeah, for the taxpayer.
Yes.
Yeah, no,
Sorry.
absolutely.
Paul.
Company insolvent liquidations, bounce back loans and CBILs used for personal circumstances where you maybe don't find out until later on after you started your work, and then it gets to those difficult negotiations with the client. Oh, by the way, and then you've got to obviously make a report, and they're told to pay that. Is that a common occurrence, or?
Yes, the work that we do is the lead up to a liquidation. So we have to ask a million and one questions to directors when we're putting together a statement of affairs and going through an insolvency process. We are duty bound now. We have an awful lot of responsibility on us as liquidators, as people that deal with insolvency, to ensure that other government departments don't lose out and creditors don't lose out in situations. So if we notice, we have to ask questions about bounce back loans, we have to review the application now, we have to say, ask the directors, what did you use the money for? We have to see evidence of what they've used the money for. We have to investigate furlough fraud, we have to investigate what they've used that money for, whether it was reasonable or not. We've seen situations where, and we all know this, Paul, where directors have increased their salary in order to get to the furlough limit, £2,500 a month, so that they can claim that from the government and then take it out of the business. When they were paid maybe earning their normal salary of £800 a month for the rest of the time. So that is actually furlough fraud. It's a claim against the government, which we can then pursue and go after them for. So we try to warn people of the issues that they may face.
moving on then.
Yes, can I ask my question?
Yes.
Okay, so you've listened to my talk and everyone who's listening carefully, you may improvise, and just shout out if you know the answer. How much does it cost?
690.
Someone's wide awake.
Oh, let me just grab it out of my bag.
Well, you knew it.
I was going to shoot.
Should be mastermind rules. Can't interrupt the question.
It's something I've got off of Amazon, and it gives you hints of what to say in emails to people. So
I
when
love
you're trying to be polite, actually you're not really being polite anymore.
Thank you very much. Oh, that's lovely.
Oh, brilliant, thank you.
And is that our completion of the presentation? Well, thank you so much. Ruddy, fantastic. Or no, we're doing fan ruddy testing today. Thank you so much, Vanessa. Yes, that's good. So yes, we have referrals and testimonials and a telephone. Can we start with you, Paul, and work round the table, please?
Yes, thank you. Free of thank you for the slot. And also professional and informative, as always. Thank you very much for that. I have a referral for Terry, which I've spoken to about meeting.
Thank you. Your education Scotsman. I've got a little referral for Rosemary about maybe I'll be in for next year, so I'll email her about that.
Same as Stuart. I'm not contacting Rosemary, but apart from that, all the rest of it is exactly the same.
Thank you. Very professional. A lot of information. You have some fun.
Thank you.
Now, what was the question?
The question was, how much does it cost to petition for your bankruptcy?
You can have a read.
That's what you could have won, Brian.
I always think the best one, Terry, is lawyers. With all due respect, there is put that in.
With all due respect.
Yeah.
No respect.
Yeah, well done. It's a really good presentation. Obviously, I'm fully aware of most of the stuff I spoke about. It's a minefield, isn't it?
Yes.
No, really interesting, and lots of people probably, all the other informal arrangements in the form ones, have done a lot more. Got Rick one of our clients, right?
Excellent.
Aidan's back on Tuesday, and we are the executives, I'm one of the executives, we're going to push from your make it bigger, make it bigger. More people there, more.
As I always say, if you're going to die, I'm your guy.
Actually, on the subject of this, it's just I've got an issue at work, and Melissa really kindly took some papers for me, gave me some really good advice. As a result, it's just there called Fix and Serious Art. Thank you very much for this.
Did you know apparently now there's the latest trend is glass coffins.
No.
Whether they're going to be popular or not remains to be seen.
Oh,
Well, I'm Melissa. I know nothing about the subject, but it's really interesting. Well done to Paul for the ed slot as well. Defeated very well there. Thank you for the money to dog for your work. Thank you very much. And who's this? Oh, and referral to Scott.
Brilliant, 10 minutes. Thank you very, very much. Excellent Eslop, although I was disappointed you didn't attempt to pronounce that massive long Welsh word. A Welsh one, the big one, Landfair, then Willie, that one. I haven't written it down because it's not really a true referral yet, but Mike, the client I was talking about that's thinking about adding video, It's unfortunately fleas, cockroaches and wasps. But they want someone to potentially top and tail stuff, so I will go through and recommend you for that. Great meeting, thank you all.
Yes, great. Thank you so much, everybody. This is for Nick Cook, but he's not here. We're knocking down most of our house at the moment. We need Nick desperately.
He's been before.
Yes, RSJ is urgently required. And this is for Terry. Thank you for the money. Terry's ordered a cream tea gift in, and we'll be sending that today. Thank you. And yes, I'm going to send it to you. And Vincent, I love that Mimesis and all. Ah, very good.
Thank you to Tony for the definition.
Yes,
Edit that out.
yes. Melissa, that was wonderful. I always learn so much. I had no idea that you could be let off the tax. I had no idea that even compensation coming in for you could be I didn't know about 9 of the things you said. I love it. Thank you very much to you. Tony.
Thank you. Yes, it's a good meeting. Vince, sorry for stealing your thunder. Just one of those random things I happen to know. Melissa, great 10 minutes. Always find yours fascinating. A thank you for the money to Mr. Smallcombe. A thank you for the money to Sarah Steele, who's not here because she's the next member, and a referral for Melissa. Formalising, now it's formalised. Thanks.
Great meeting, great excellent, thank you very much, and great 10 minutes. Learned a lot from that, thank you. And just a testimony from Mike, who did some photos for me. Very professional, really good, really pleased with the photos. And introduced so much of them as well. So, yeah, if you haven't already used it, you probably have, but definitely use them.
Very good.
Really good. And I hoped a while ago in the insurance company, there was a company there that took the money out and then realised that they shouldn't have done.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, trying to be clever. Really good company. I had a one-to-one with Leanne on Tuesday.
You're stalking Pat.
Yeah.
Diet Coke.
Well, next week.
Thank you.
Nice to be back. I've not been away for ages. Good education slot, very interesting. University doing well. That's really interesting. Lots of work. I didn't know that. So yeah, that's really great. And I'm seeing Jane next week.
Yes.
So it'll be nice to come visit Jane.
Can't wait.
See you later.
Thank you. And Melissa, yes, your turn. Did you have anything to say?
Thank you very much. Great insight. Thank you very much. I quite like a small intimate meeting, so it's lovely today. And thank you, Toby, to the referral and etc. It's been really good working with Catherine, so hopefully that will work out very well. I'll see you all next week.
Lovely. Well, we've just got the referral reality check and putting the award-winning one.
Look, I think the award one is that Tina's prize?
Was that the 10-minute prize?
Yeah, yeah.
That's
an extra, is it?
That's an extra, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. In which case, let's do the draw for the prize.
Dum, dum, dum,
Then choose one of those. Who's it from?
From Paul.
Oh!
All right.
Happy with that?
Yeah, and while I'm on my feet, then we'll do a referral reality check for some previously passed bits of green paper. First is from Tina to Terry. Pass details to 2 people whose boss decided to close the business, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. I don't know what's happening there. Yeah, waiting to hear from them.
Okay. The second is from Terry to Jane. I need a hammer, please. No, hammer. Hammer.
Hammer would have been better in this circumstance.
That's in process.
That's so funny.
That's also from Terry. I'll skip that one. From Paul to Vincent. New business cards, as Matt has designed me a new logo.
Matt's just finishing off the design and business cards. We've got a brand new logo.
Look forward to seeing that very much then.
Yeah.
You know what Matt's 60 seconds is next week?
I think we'll have that.
Lovely, thank you very much, Melissa. Yes, I've let up your letters. And then finally, any special reports, announcements, or anything like that? Sir?
Social events.
Yes.
If you fancy it, on Sunday there's an EBF activity at the Secret Nuclear Bunker.
Oh.
We're going to be playing a game of airsoft. Toby's going to be there, myself, Blake and John. We've had interest from Sarah Steele, who wants to come and play around with the boys in the woods. So it's open to anybody at all, Sunday morning for the day, if you fancy it, just let one of us know.
We have to get there.
You have to go back
It's just about
roads.
the only place you can get to.
Yeah, if you can get past the bike ride, it's open.
What time's that? Fairly early.
8 o'clock.
Wow. And then just to mention, Brian, are we still, do you think, going ahead for the EBF summer party on the 29th of July? That's the one at our place.
Yeah.
So, 29th of July, could you be checking out your calendars and more to come in due course? 29th of July. No good, stop that nonsense. Is it really? Well, we can make him a team. That's lovely.
Is that,
Yes, I did. Is that any good?
is that lunch or evening-ish?
Lunch.
Okay, you can do that.
Hooray! So,
Lots of scum.
there will be lots of gorgeousness.
With ice
Savoury
cream on
food,
top.
barbecue sausages. Sorry?
With ice cream on top.
Oh, yes, maybe.
Where's that being held?
At Bramley House in White Reading. Chez moi et Roger. Roger's doing the cooking. You'll be glad to know. And it includes families. But there is a cost, I think. But more details will come from Sir Brian in due course. That was a hold the date. So, it says here, to the members, I hope you have had a successful meeting and have done some business here today. How can we have done that? Well, maybe at the beginning bit. Or have laid the foundations for future dealings. Well, of course. It's been an absolute pleasure. I've laughed a lot. The joke about the coffin, definitely dodgy. And thank you for letting me be the chair. And now it's the Synergy meeting for those that wish to stay. And those that wish to run away, have a great week. Thank you.